Thank you, Council President Navarro. I really want to compliment you and your staff on organizing today's discussion. This was really powerful, incredibly powerful. I wish we could continue this conversation and do this every week, frankly. I think it would keep us so grounded. I wanted to just make a very few observations. I know that everyone will have something to say on the question of what we can do. The comments about, we know we need to do more with housing. We know we need to do more with transportation. All of these policy areas fit together. One theme I've heard a lot about is pre-K and early education. I think that is an intervention that really goes to the heart of inequities and history and the future. And I think there's so much consensus at this council in this county among the community leaders of this county that we can do more and we can move faster and we can achieve more. So I want to just thank everyone who's referenced that and acknowledge that I think that is one key area for us to work together on this agenda. But to the comments about from Nate, it struck a chord with me. When I speak with young people, I say often what I'm saying to myself these days, which is that we live in a time of a lot of conflict that is open around racial justice. And that is a good thing, in my opinion. It's unfortunate that we have a president who is so transparently racist. But our history of having a consensus in this country that did not address racial equity issues and was silent on those issues and therefore didn't have that conflict, that's not better. What's better is being uncomfortable, as the word was used, and actually engaging in that discussion and acknowledging our history. And the fact that our political parties seem to be accelerating this transformation to one party that is almost avowedly openly racist and pursuing a racist agenda, and another party that is inclusive and seeking to be inclusive, I should say, that makes me actually feel optimistic for the first time in a long time that maybe we'll get something done, because I think the numbers are on our side. And so as tough as it is to live day to day in this environment, and I think it's tough, at the same time, I really feel that maybe there's a better day ahead, because we're now starting to embrace the real work that we've talked about, but maybe didn't take on as directly as we should. So even though there's conflict, I think it takes conflict to make progress. You're never making progress if you're not disagreeing and you're not engaged in a tussle. You're not doing anything if you're not fighting about it, in my opinion. The other thing I wanted to say to Elisha Wheeler's comment about it's only been 55 years since the passage of the Civil Rights Act. That is so important. After slavery was ended, it was the effect of it was perpetuated through official government policies at the federal, state, and local level for generations, for 100 years. And we see that in the Washington region, the consequences of suburban development that was whites-only development, fostering concentration of poverty for black people. And then you have immigrant communities arriving, and the only place they can afford to purchase housing is in communities that have been segregated and where poverty has been perpetuated. And the government has so actively perpetuated white wealth and black poverty and poverty for people of color through so many ways, through education, through housing, through transportation, through all of these different policies. But it's only, we're dealing with that legacy every day now. Every day. And so it's not just about slavery as much as that issue is so important to us. It's also about segregation, which is a modern phenomenon. It is still here today. So that's something I just think we need to keep in mind as we understand why this is so important. But thank you for all of your work. Really appreciate everything you've said today and look forward to continuing this work together.